Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the Rain or Shine Sports Network. Tonight we have a special Super Bowl edition for the Seattle Seahawks. Oh, you've got your Seahawks shirt on too, Jamal Adams, number 33.
I need a new one.
I've got my Super Bowl shirt from this was the championship one against Denver. So, Ken, if you're watching, I don't know if you probably don't like this day, but it was a pretty good day in Seattle Seahawks history anyway. Hey, I'm your host, Tom Sotera, along with Robbie Sotera. We've done this weekly, going throughout the season, forecasting the games and choosing our best teams and worst teams of the week and things like that. And this is our home team here with the Seahawks. So I thought it'd be a great time to just kind of give you a look at the matchup between the Seahawks and the Patriots. You know, last time we played them in the Super Bowl, it wasn't a very happy ending for Seattle. I still love the highlights when they showed Tom Brady on the bench just with his hands. He looked like he was about ready to cry just before the interception. But anyway, those days are over. Mike McDonald's got a lot of questions. Okay, you're at the 1 yard line. Are you running or throwing the ball? And he just won't even answer. He won't even answer the question. So, anyway, what do you think? A great run through the playoffs. Having to see two divisional foes, conference foes. And it was kind of a fitting way for the Seahawks to get there. So, what are your thoughts on their season so far?
Definitely surpassed expectations, for sure.
I would say so.
But
Yeah.
to me, I just have a bad feeling about the Super Bowl. I don't know why.
You've been saying that, and I don't want to hear it.
I don't know why. I don't know what is like. I just one of those gut feelings that it might not be the way we all want it to be.
Right. So as the year went on, 3 losses. They lose to San Francisco in week 1. They drop a close one to Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield comes in. And to me, the turning point of the year was week 11 at the Rams. They lose that game 21-19. They had a chance, last second field goal. It was like 62 yards or something like that. And Myers didn't make it. But from there, I almost wonder if it was kind of a blessing. They had a horrible game. They played a horrible game. Sam Darnold, 4 interceptions. The Rams didn't play a whole lot better. They didn't have a whole lot of yardage or anything in that game. But Seattle just kind of hung around, and they had a chance at the end. Seattle was favored in that game by 3.5, but they just never got it going whatsoever. But since then, they didn't lose another game the rest of the time. So week 16 now, they're playing the Rams. It's in Seattle. They're down 16 points. It's in the fourth quarter. There's not any time left. Punts the ball to Rashid Shaheed, and here's a touchdown. And then the next thing you know, they go for 2 and didn't realize that the ball was a backwards pass in the end. Charbonnet picks it up just to pick it up, and it ended up being the 2-point conversion that made it that gave them the lead. So it was pretty nice to finish that way. The Rams were shocked at that point. I had heard that they were talking so much trash that whole game, and then to come out and lose it in the end, that was pretty fitting. So, and Seattle had that road after week 16. They still had 2 games to play. They still had Carolina to play. They still had
Niners.
The Niners to play. And they had the Rams again to play too. Yeah. So that was what was kind of fitting with it, is that so when the Rams, when they win that game on week 16, go on to week 17. They've got Carolina. They're still talking about, the 49ers could win the division. And it came down to that on week 18. San Francisco, they came in. Brock Purdy undefeated at Lumen Field, never lost there. They had already beat Seattle. Yeah, exactly. And so, and they came out pretty convincing in that one. That was 13-3. They beat them, but it was never, to me, they never were in jeopardy at all in that game, but they were always, San Francisco was still there,
It's a one play kind of a thing could change the whole dynamic of the game.
Absolutely. And I didn't like the way that game started. They shut the 49ers down, got the ball.
Wasn't it 3-3 or something like that going into halftime? Or something like that?
I don't know if it was 3-3. But anyway,
I don't know.
They had the opening drive, then Seattle run the ball right down their throats, got down to the 1 yard line, first and goal from the 1 yard line, and throw a pass that was intercepted. Well, that was after they had got to the 6. In the end, they went for it on the 4th and 6. That's what it was, and they missed a field goal, and so they got sacked. That's what it was? So taking a sack and then getting no points at all, going for it on the fourth and goal from I think it was the 1 actually. I think in the end, but no, it was the 4. I think, but anyway, losing that or winning that game, though, I mean, they really controlled the game, but they were, like I said, it was always just, they led 10-3 at halftime, 7-0 in the first quarter, because then they scored in the first quarter on the next drive as well. So anyway, Darnold didn't have a huge game that day. Walker ran for 97 yards. Njigba had 6 catches for 84 yards. No touchdowns there, though. Charbonnet had the only touchdown in that game. So they won that one 13-3, ended up being the number 1 seed. And in the first round of the playoffs, then we've got this team called the 49ers again that we're going to see. And again, they came in thinking they were going to just take care of business and they don't lose there. And that was really the statement game of the year, I feel anyway. 41-6, right from the start. It was a total domination. So,
like we said that week after it happened when we did our talk show, Rob was complaining about what with us making it close with the Panthers or something like that, I think. And then he was like, you need to put your foot on their necks, you need to dominate them. And then we do that to them, and it's just like, you wanted it.
He was saying that because of the San Francisco game, that, you're just not aggressive enough. I mean, you got to put your foot on their throat and just finish them off. Well, that's kind of what happened in this game. This game was never.
I think they heard that. I think they heard Rob and were like, all right, watch this.
So in that game, Kenneth Walker had 3 touchdowns, rushed for 116. Cooper Kupp had 60 receiving yards. Brock Purdy held to 140 passing yards, 1 interception, no touchdowns at all. So that was a big game. And then in the conference championship, then the Rams came a calling, and it was a good game. I thought it would be. Seahawks 31-27 over the Rams, and it came down to right at the end as well. They had a 4th and 12, just stopped them, and Reek Woolen kind of had a little moment that he got an unsportsmanlike penalty, and man, oh man, gave them another chance. And the very next play, touchdown pass all the way down. I think, was it Devontae Adams to that one?
Puka.
It was Puka. Okay. So Puka with a big touchdown pass, and that put it down to a 1-score game. And I was a little worried at that time. I can't say that I wasn't. So then the defense came up with a stop at the end, and that's what you need. That's something that the defense has done all year. In this game, though, this is the game that Sam Darnold came out and played. he played right with Stafford. Yeah, Stafford threw for 374 yards, 3 passing touchdowns. But Darnold had an excellent game as well. I think did he have 2 or 3 touchdowns? I think he had 2 because Walker had 1. He might have had 3 actually, but he had 350 yards or 360 yards. So that really set the stage for this next weekend. Patriots beat the Broncos 10-7. What a wild one that was. My gosh. I didn't get to watch the first half. I came home and saw everything just covered with snow, and nobody could do anything at all. And
Except for Drake May, he was the only one to do something for them.
I seen him run for a first down on that play, and that pretty much put the game away. And 10-7, I didn't realize the whole first half there wasn't snow until halfway through the third quarter, and boy, it must have come down because that field looked horrible. So not going to have to worry about anything like that this weekend. Sunday, the Super Bowl, Seattle's favored by 4.5. Over under is 45.5. Patriots 14-3, Seahawks 14-3. They were the number 2 seed in the AFC, New England was, and the Seahawks are the number 1 seed in the NFC. Playing at Levi Stadium, so what a better place for it to be as long as they win. If they lose, the San Francisco crowd's going to be, oh, yeah, well, it was great to see them lose. So I'm sure they're rooting for that. But anyway, I thought tonight maybe take a look at some matchups between these two teams. So in this in the Super Bowl, you have 2 teams that very, very deserving of being there, without a doubt. We'll get into some statistics, what each team is, how they fared throughout the season. I took a look at some Pro Football Focus rankings on the lines, offensive line, defensive lines, kind of give you an idea on that, and then we'll go through all of the team statistics as we go too, and take a look at each section and see, kind of rate or give the edge to which offensive line, running back group.
No, I got it all right here. So,
perfect. All right, so let's
not all of it. I don't have like returning and
return yards and stuff.
Yeah, I don't have any of that. But
okay. So let's take a look first at these rankings that Pro Football Focus had on. This was just the offensive line, defensive line. So they were ranked. The New England was ranked the number 11 offensive line in football, and their defensive line was ranked 15th. And the offensive line for Seattle was ranked 15th, and Seattle's defensive line was ranked 8th. Now, those rankings don't mean anybody because, and this is just total defense type stuff. This isn't just scoring defense or anything else. But they really don't mean anything because the defense not playing against the offense isn't playing against the offense, and the defense isn't playing against the defense in these things. So you're looking at the Seattle defense against the New England offense. So as we take a look at those things, just keep that in mind as we go. So the other rankings, just as positions are, do you have the rankings, what they were, or do you just have the numbers?
Some of them, but I have like my own notes.
Okay.
Some of them have rankings, some of them don't.
Okay, so here is just kind of some of the offensive stuff. We'll go through these things real quick, and then we'll break down into the different areas. So points per game offensively now, this is Seahawks scoring 28.4, Patriots scoring 28.8. Seahawks 362 offensive yards per game, and the Patriots 391. Passing game is 239 for Seattle, 262 for the Patriots. Rushing, Seattle 123, the Patriots 128. Time of possession, Patriots is about a minute more, 30-12 for Seattle, 31-18 for the Patriots. Third down efficiency, Seattle 39.8, and the Patriots 42.9. Every one of those statistics leans to New England's side on those things. Okay. Points allowed per game. Let's go to the other side. Look at the defense. Points allowed per game. Seattle 17.2. The Patriots 18.8. Seattle's ranked number 1 in that one, and the Patriots were number 4. So almost all those other ones from the offensive side as well, everything was in the top 10 on both teams as well. So total yards per game given up. Seattle was 6th in the NFL at 285, 295 for New England. That was 8th. Passing yards, Seattle was 10th, 193.9, and New England was 193.5. So they were 9th, and Seattle was 10th. Rushing yards, Seattle was 3rd, 91.9, and the Patriots 101. Sacks, Seattle was 8th with 47. The Patriots were 22nd with 35, and interceptions, Seattle was 5th with 18, and Patriots were 22nd with 10 interceptions. So that kind of lends that onto what is happening as the teams and stuff. So let me I'll get you going here now with some of the different things. So what do you have do you have the offensive player breakdowns, the quarterbacks?
I have QB, running back, wide receiver, tight end, O-line, D-line, linebackers, corners, safeties, kickers, and punters.
Perfect. All right. So take a look at quarterbacks.
So for the quarterback position between Sam Darnold and Drake May, personally for me, even with it being so early in Drake May's career, I'm still going to give it to Sam Darnold, mainly due to the fact that Drake May doesn't have a lot of playoff experience. Obviously, neither does Sam Darnold. But Sam has been getting the job done all year. Even last year, he was doing really well. But obviously, there's bad games sprinkled in here and there. But the postseason for Drake May he hasn't really impressed. So for me, that's what's giving Sam Darnold the edge here. So for quarterbacks, the Seahawks will win that duel anyway.
Yeah, and I believe the same thing. Yes, he has less interceptions. I think he had 10, I believe, and Darnold has 14. But I still think that and I know New England's played against the tough defenses all through the playoffs. They really have. Top 5 every one of their games. And to me, now they're going to go up against the best defense in football. And I think if they can contain Drake May, I think it will make it for a long afternoon for them. They're and we'll get into other positions as well. I would I would lean to go with Sam Darnold as well, knowing how he's played these last few games. Again, since that game down in LA, he's had a couple of games that nothing near as bad as that was, but he made a couple of mistakes. But these last 4 games that he's played have been pretty dang good. They really have. And to see him these last 2 games, especially against the Rams and the 49ers, I mean, these are divisional foes that, to put up 38 and 30 some points against the Rams and 41 against San Francisco. I think he's proven himself, and I love that they just kind of let him go now against the Rams this last game. So I'm going to give him the edge as well. I think he's learned a lot this year, and he's making pretty good decisions. So I would say that's going to be a check mark to Sam Darnold. So running backs.
For me, I don't have much rankings with a couple of the things, but this one I don't have it either. But I'm looking at what each team has. And in terms of names, while Kenneth Walker might be the best one in the game, I have to say Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson might be the better backfield completely out of these two teams. Now, if Charbonnet was playing, it would be a lot closer in that department.
Yeah.
But because I feel like Kenneth Walker could be that bell cow role that we haven't had since Rashad Penny in the last few weeks of 22 or what 21 or whatever.
Yeah.
But like it's just I just feel like they have a little bit more explosiveness with Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson.
Yeah, and I totally agree. As for the two-headed back, anyway, and again with Charbonnet there, especially along the goal line, there's another weapon for Seattle that he could use. For New England, Henderson has had 9 touchdowns and Stevenson 7. Stevenson's got more of the bulk later, lately anyway. But I'd have to agree with you a little bit that way. Now, I don't know that that's going to make the difference in the game or not, because I think Kenneth Walker he's only had 19 carries both games. So he's fresh. That's the thing that has been
And I think
nice.
that's what they were doing throughout the season was saving
Yep.
it for later in the season, which
Yep.
is smart, but also in some ways it's like,
well, there's times when
get his legs going more during the
Right.
season, he'll be more used to it. But
Charbonnet, yeah,
Charbonnet,
yeah. He showed so many times that he was there, and he earned all the time he got as well. So there was a lot of times it's almost like, well, God, just keep giving it to him. But
in this backfield, it honestly reminded me of. Obviously, it's not really working for them, but Houston, with the names they have. They have Joe Mixon and Nick Chubb.
right.
Obviously, Joe Mixon hasn't played this season because of whatever.
Right.
Apparently, there was a bad accident or something that happened with Joe Mixon that kind of kept him away. But it feels like it probably would have been similar with how things were going there.
Right.
Still 2 players that could carry a bulk of the load, but it's like obviously they were doing the hot hand approach with these 2 guys. So
Right. Yeah. Nope. And again, I would give that edge just slightly to New England. And again, that doesn't mean I don't know that either one of them are going to get off. I'm just saying from what they have, I can
Just
see
purely
Walker
off.
outdoing them. But if I just had to say, okay, which 2 would you take right now at the moment? I would probably go that way. So, all right. How about receivers?
This one I'm going with Seattle. Due to the fact that besides Stephon Diggs, there hasn't been a consistent playmaker in the wide receiving room for them. Sure, you've had some good games out of Demario Doug, or was it Demario Doug? Something like that. Douglas, you got Hollins, Booty, but there was never like consistency with them. It's like, 2 or 3 games out of 18, they caught 4 passes for 82 yards and a touchdown. But with Diggs, he's getting targeted, I think, 9 times a game on average this season. And obviously, Diggs did have a couple down games, but that happens with every
Sure.
number 1 receiver, unless you're Jamar Chase. But yeah, with JSN, Cooper Kupp, and Shaheed, all of them have been pretty good in their respective roles when they needed to be, and I give the edge, and I don't know if it's really that close, but I'll give the edge to Seahawks here.
Yeah, and the season that JSN had, I mean, he had 1,900 yards, was it?
Something like that.
19.
I think he's like 65 yards away from 2,000.
Yeah, I think so. And Diggs had 1,000. He had 1,013, and then Booty was next with 551, and Hollins with 550. That's with 33 catches and 46 catches, respectively. And Cup didn't have huge numbers, but again, if you
A
go
lot
back
of
to
his
the
stuff was in the clutch, like these
right,
clutch grabs in the end zone or first
yes,
downs
yes,
and stuff like
along the
that. So
sidelines, a lot of those highlight
you
catches.
know who that reminded me of? The way he was, it was actually Josh Gordon. We didn't use Josh Gordon the way we should have, to be honest. But if
Well,
it
yeah,
was that clutch. Oh, we need third and or fourth and one, and he does. It's just
yeah,
come
he just
on.
he just does it. There was a
Mhm.
couple. I think it was in like the first game. He had a drop or two, and I remember had commented on somebody had said something, and then some that nobody can catch the ball. I said, "You got a sure-handed receiver in Cooper Cup." Well, he wasn't sure-handed. He dropped the ball. I'm like, come on.
Everyone drops the ball.
Yes, yeah. There's going to be drops
You go
anywhere.
run a route and see if you catch that
Right, right.
third, like a 40-mile-an-hour fastball to your hands. Come on.
The weapon that really showed up though after the trade deadline was Rashid Shaheed.
Hmm. Yep.
And that not just in
Hasn't
the
had the greatest year in the wide receiver
no,
spot, but
no, no.
returner. Whew.
Yeah, no. He's only had 15 catches for Seattle. For 188 yards. Cooper Cup had 47 for 593. And Jigba only had 1793. I thought he had 1900. Okay. 10 touchdowns though for Njigba.
I
So
think that might be regular season
it probably is. Yeah, it probably is. Seems like it. Because he had 150
because
the last game,
he's
I
like I
think.
read a thing that he's only a certain amount away from 2000 for the full
Okay.
season. So
Okay.
counting
So
post.
yeah, so I got to agree with that. I got to give Seattle the edge at wide receiver anyway. Tight ends are a little bit different story.
Hmm.
You know, I like AJ Barner. He's I really do. He had 52 catches on the year, and that's more than tight ends usually get with Seattle
Hmm.
anyway. But 519 yards, um, only 30 yards a game. Longest was 61 yards. Yards after catch, though, 271 on 17 catches. That's pretty dang good. And 26 first downs for him as well. Hunter Henry has had a year, though, for the Patriots.
It seems like he's been consistently one of their like first two reads and almost every single play that happens if they're passing. It's been this way the last 2 years for them. And it kind of bounced back and forth these last couple years between him and Austin Hooper. And then you had like, I think Johnny Smith was there. Wasn't he there too
At
at
one
one
point, he
point?
was, yeah, yeah.
But I, this is kind of tough. I would have liked to see more Arroyo
Yeah.
when he was playing, but obviously there's people that are improving and overtaking people on depth charts. It is what it is. He'll get there. But yeah, Hunter Henry, Austin Hooper, I think are proven talents at the tight end position for years now. Austin Hooper with his years in Atlanta, Hunter Henry with the Chargers. It's just I don't think AJ Barner and Eric Saubert are two names that are like, oh yeah, they're right there with them. I gotta say that the Pats have the edge with the tight end spots.
Yeah, when you look at the tight ends here, Saubert had 4 catches, and he had a big touchdown catch in the Rams game, I think it was there. So that was huge. And a guy they lost halfway through the season, Tony Horton. That's a guy that was
Hmm.
coming on as a wide receiver as well, and a couple of weapons that will be back. I mean, so they're going to be rounding out their team as well. George Halani now he picked up his only 2 catches for the season last game. So all right, so let's take a look at where we at then now. Offensive line.
We're going to a line. Yep.
Okay. And what are your feelings there?
Well,
I believe Cross is healthy enough now at this point. Let's take a look at injuries just in case here. Let me look at this just for a second. See who's on the injury list. I would imagine Sam Darnold's got a oblique.
no,
It wasn't listed this
no.
time.
He
Okay.
said that he feels great. It's not a problem anymore, so he's good to go.
Josh Jones is says questionable. He's a backup
I think
offensive
I
lineman.
saw Eamon Worry had a questionable tag
Oh,
too
okay.
with an ankle, but I'm not sure.
I just see Cross as a foot, Josh Jones as an ankle, and Sam Darnold with his oblique. I look at the Patriots now, though, and I don't see who's not on there now is Drake May. That shoulder must be feeling a little better. You got Harold Landry with a knee, Robert Spillane with an ankle, and Thayer Munford with a knee, a tackle for New England. So, all right, offensive line. Who do you give the edge here?
So it's definitely the Seahawks. Because this year's a little bit different for the O line. I don't know if you noticed, they've been playing a whole lot better this year compared to the last 10 years. Because it's been working. Obviously they're not the worst O line in the league. They're not the best, but they're doing enough to get what they need to do done, protect Sam Darnold as long as possible so that he can make a play. And what I saw was the Pats are similar, but with Drake May not playing the greatest, it's hard to say whose fault that is. So I don't really know the actual rankings of each one, but all I know is that the O line for the Seahawks are like sixth in was it run blocking or something like that. It's either way, they're to the point now where they can actually start exploiting certain defenses D lines. And when was the last time our O line exploited a defensive line?
I don't remember. Sean
There you go.
Alexander, maybe when he was running, when we had the Steve Hutchison and
Walter
the big
Jones.
boy Walter Jones on the left side. That was
Mm-hmm.
that was when Seattle had they were beasts over there on the left side. Well, and that's what the Patriots have right now. They have two rookies manning their left side, and to me, that's kind of why I think I give the edge to Seattle. I think those two in time, I think they could really solidify that group. And again, you got to look at not just the offensive line, but how's the offensive line going to do against the defensive line? And that's something as we move to that now, that's an edge that I see Seattle big time on the other side of the ball. I think their defensive line playing the scheme they play without having to blitz, and Leonard Williams gets the pressure on the quarterback, and if he doesn't, Nwosu's there, and
Thanks there.
yes, and
Sometimes even Maffei's there.
You've got who's the big guy? Jared Reed. I love him doing his sack dance. And so it's nice. Oh, I forgot Byron Murphy, for crying out loud, a run stopper as well. So they're going to be putting some pressure on Drake May and that offensive line for sure in that Super Bowl. I think that edge big time goes to Seattle.
Yep. I have Seattle with the edge there, and they have the sixth best D line in the whole league. They're fourth best run stopping D line.
Okay.
While the Pats are 14th as a unit, 27th for run stop. So this could be another exploitation here. Run the ball.
Kenny Walker. Yep. No, that's good stuff. So, all right. So on the defensive side, then, as we get into the linebackers, with Seattle's two linebackers, or two of them lead the team in tackles. Ernest Jones, how can you say enough about Ernest Jones? My gosh. You'll see him rush and then drop back in coverage. He leads the team in interceptions with 5. as a linebacker. He's covering people, man. He's got 150 interception yards on returns. In 5 interceptions, that's 30 yards on interception return. He scored 1 touchdown, 7 passes defended. Um, you know, only half a sack on the year, 4 tackles for loss, but leads the team with 126 tackles. And Drake Thomas has 89 tackles, 3.5 sacks. He has 1 interception. And then you take a look at Demarcus Lawrence, and you take a look at Knight and Nwosu. And I mean, they're solid there too. The one that surprised me was Thomas. I didn't realize he does as much as he does. So I mean, having 89 tackles, that's pretty good. Second on the team. So I like what they have at the linebacker position. Let's take a look. Let me see something really fast with the Patriots. I'm curious on. There we are. All right. Yeah. Spillane has 97 tackles. Ellis has 76 for them. Then the other linebackers, Gibbons, Chason, and Tavai, looks like. But anyway, I like the linebackers for Seattle. This defense I like. I really do. Seattle that's how they won all years with their defense. And to see the offense do what they've done these last couple games has been fantastic, because the defense kept them in the game. Yes, they had a stop at the end of the game, which was great. But they certainly weren't the ones that dominated. Stafford threw for a ton of yards and touchdowns all over the place. So, all right. How about back in the secondary?
Nope.
We're not done?
No.
Okay.
I don't give Seattle the edge on linebackers, to be honest.
You don't? Okay.
Just slightly. Like, literally 1 point.
Boy.
Because the Pats linebacking core is ranked 8th overall.
Okay.
And Seattle is 9th. So it's right there. Seahawks have better run defenders, obviously, in their linebacking core, and better pass rushers. But in terms of pass coverage, the Pats have better pass coverage than we do. Just barely.
Okay.
So I'll give the slight, like, just a little bit of the Patriots. But it might, it could go either way here. Like, just a tiny bit for the Patriots. Just a tiny bit.
Well, I'm hoping they get enough pressure on there that the linebackers are highly visible for the Seahawks in this one. All right, how about the secondary now? No slouches over there on the Patriots side.
Honestly,
Gonzalez is
both teams have really good corners, but the Patriots have the edge on this one. Witherspoon, obviously one of the more dominant corners in the league, but and I like Woolen, showing flashes, but it's that inconsistency. You can get burned a little too much to be a top guy, and when he is on his game, he's on his game. But for the Pats, they have depth in their spot, and that depth is consistent. So Christian Gonzalez, one of the best. Carlton Davis is a good depth piece that they've been using all year. Marcus Jones, like, I don't know. I think he's in the top 10 or something. He's one of the best in the league there too. But it's with just having one corner being consistent and not having a 2 or a 3, it's hard to compare them as a group. So, but I got the Patriots just.
I like Josh Jobe.
Side, so
I like Josh Jobe. He's played well for them in the secondary as well, and Julian Love's done a fantastic job. Kobe Bryant's done.
And I'm talking just corners.
Okay, well, I looked.
I'm not saying that.
Okay.
Because I got safety too.
Okay, I was looking at secondary altogether.
Mm.
So for me, I think with the safeties, my favorite player on that team, I believe, is Nick
I know
Eamon.
I know that. I
That
think everyone
guy
knows that.
is amazing, and it doesn't matter what it is he's doing. He
Cam
could be,
Chancellor.
yeah, he could be rushing the passer. He can be. He had 2.5 sacks. He had just one interception, 11 passes defensed, um, 9 tackles for lost, 81 tackles on the year, third leading tackler on the team. So versatile, big, tall, lanky. Yeah, Cam Chancellor. You're exactly right. And the nice thing with it, he's a rookie. He is a
Mhm.
rookie.
And he's
Um,
got a lot of learning to do. So
oh,
he's just going to get better
absolutely.
and better.
And when you have that whole defense, because each level is in tune with each other, they know exactly, the secondary knows exactly what the defensive line is going to do and where they're going to be and what they're going to do. They can disguise coverages so well. They drop into one thing to start with, or they line up in one thing and drop into something else. So you're not always getting what you think you're going to get. And they've had the players. Nwosu's another one that they have so many of these guys that yes, he's a linebacker, but I mean, he can rush the passer as well. And defensively, that's where Seattle is. And they did carry this team a lot of the year. And it's nice now to see special teams is right there now, and offense has been clicking on everything they've done as well since that Rams lost there halfway through the year in week 11. So
Yeah.
anyway, so
Safety, it's definitely the Seahawks here.
okay.
I think their
Okay.
safety is ranked are first overall or something like that. Fourth in coverage.
Yeah. Yep.
So Eamon Bryant, Okada, they're in the top half of the league in rankings for PFF. Julian Love playing fantastic when he's playing on the field, but he missed quite a few games due to injury. And the Patriots, for them, it's unfortunate because I don't have a lot of info on them, but they have like, I wouldn't say rookies, but they're just less known players playing in their safety spots.
Yeah.
So they've
And
had people like veterans lose their jobs to these people that have been in the league
sure.
1 or 2 years. It's just like it's hard to say what we're gonna see from them. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about them as well, and so it kind of makes it tough to be able to analyze something that you haven't looked that deep into. But we've seen what the Seahawks defense has done, and knowing Mike Vrabel, Patriots are going to come ready to play. There's no two ways about that. So, all right, let's see what else we have. Kicking game.
kicking and punting.
All right. Let's go kicking.
Well, it's Jason Myers versus Andy. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Borealis,
Borregales.
something like that.
So
Borealis.
Jason Myers gets paid to kick, and he makes almost every penny of what he does. He with Andy for the Pats, he hasn't had too bad of a season. He's taken 32 attempts at a field goal. He's made 27 of them. He's had 55 extra point attempts. He's made 53, and he's accounted for 134 points scored this season. But for Jason, it's 48 attempts, 41 makes. So that's the kind of, obviously you make more attempts, you might miss more.
Right.
But he had 48 extra points. He made every single extra point.
Mm-hmm.
So 48 and 48. And he accounted for 171 points. So just with those stats alone, granted, missed two more field goals and attempted 7 less extra points, but scored 37 more points. I gotta give the edge here to the Seahawks for kickers.
Yeah. Yeah. Myers had his moments a couple times this year.
Mm-hmm.
5 for 6 from 20 to 29 yards. He missed one of those, missed one of the 30 to 39s, missed 2 in the 40 to 49 range, and the others were over 50. So he was 9 of 12 out of those. But it was uncharacteristic of him missing the field goals that he did, and I know the one in the Rams game was a 62-yarder at the end of the game. He 57 was the most that he had, but he had missed a couple in the other. I think it was in the other Rams game, or it was in the San Francisco game. Anyway, I know there was a couple that he had missed. Luckily, it didn't come back to bite him. So I still got to give it to Myers. He's like the third highest paid kicker in the league. He might be the highest paid kicker. I think he is the highest paid kicker in the league. And for the most part,
it was Justin Tucker for a while.
Yeah, he kind of.
What happened to him, though?
Yeah, he kind of went away. So, all right, punting wise now, if we're just looking at the punter, Michael Dickson, pretty damn good. Only 3 touchbacks on the year for him, which is not too bad for punting.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at stats here. Very close between these two. I think the Patriots had 1 less punt this season than Seattle did.
Okay.
So their punter, I'm not sure what their punter's name is. I forgot to write it down. Behringer. Okay. So he had 1 less punt. His longest punt was 13 yards more than Dixon's was. And he had 1 more punt inside the 20. Okay. But Dixon's average punt was 1.6 yards more than Behringer's.
Okay.
So that's like another slight Patriots take that one. But Dixon has been better in the postseason by, get this, he's been better in the postseason by not punting as much.
Well, and that's even if you look at Behringer there for New England, I'm looking back the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
He had so this year he had 21 punts inside the 20-yard line. And if you look, well, last year he had 31 punts inside the 20-yard line. And the year before that, he had 38 punts inside the 20-yard line. However, the difference is just like you said, he was punting a whole lot more. So this year he had 51 punts. Last year he had 70 for his 31 inside the 20. And the year before that, he had 98 for the 38 inside the 20. So when you're punting that much more, yeah, your numbers are going to be a little bit better that way. So, and when you're getting this, because he had longs of 73 this year, 75 last year, and 79 the year before that. That's that ball that hits the ground and rolls. That's not in the air. That's that, we're just letting it go. Oh, crap. It rolled down to the 5 and it hit at the 26. So anyway.
Can you do? It counts that way as a stat.
Yep. I like Dixon. And again, probably not going to be the reason why they win or lose.
Unless it's a fake punt.
It could be, but it could be. But then we'll take a look at, let's look at returns as well, because that's a game that Seattle has actually been doing pretty well at.
I don't know for sure, but I feel like they would be in the top 5 in the league for returns in terms of even just scoring.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the addition of Rashid Shaheed again. Looking at punt returns for him, he had 13 punt returns, 210 yards for 13 punt returns. Okay, so that's an average of 16.2. Has 1 touchdown, punt return touchdown. That was a long of 58 yards. And Tony Horton was doing a pretty good job as well. He was averaging 16.2, Shaheed was, and Horton was averaging 14.9. He had a long of 95. He had a 95-yard punt for a touchdown as well early in the year. So getting Shaheed was big. You don't realize it when it happens, but wow, what a huge asset that he has been, not only in the kicking game but as a wide receiver as well. Again, he's only got 15 catches, but crucial ones to open the game last week, or 2 weeks ago against. Well, no, that was was that the Rams game that he had the long pass? I think it was. Yeah, yeah,
I don't remember.
yeah. Yeah, they threw that long pass right off the bat. So, anyway, though, and on the kicking or on the kickoff returns, same thing for Shaheed. He had 14 kickoff returns for 418 yards. Average is 29.9. Had a 100-yarder in that one. So, and he had the longest kickoff return for a touchdown this year, by the way, in that regards. Take a look at the New England's return yardage just to get an idea of what we got there. Then we'll get into all right, kickoff returns. What do we got? Ooh, there's a 90-yard touchdown for Antonio Gibson. That's a name that hasn't been around. I mean, that has been around for a while with the Commanders, Washington football team. I think he was at that time. Only had 12 returns though, averaging 28.5 though, and but I'll give the nod to Shaheed there on that one. And Jones, the cornerback from New England, has done a lot of the punt returns.
Yep.
He's had 21 punt returns as well. 17.3 average for that one, and 2 touchdowns runs. So let's hope that he had a 94-yarder. So I'm hoping that that doesn't happen. That's an area that Seattle's been pretty darn good, is in the special teams this year. So that may be something to might make a difference down there, and I hope not. So, all right, you have any more insight into these teams? How does that?
I do not.
Over there. Okay. All right. So, if you were to guess, just a little prediction out here. So we're going to have our regular show tomorrow night. We'll do that live. We have, I think it'll be the 5 of us on again, as we have been the last 2 weeks for the playoffs. And we'll get into a lot of things, not only predicting the games, but some possible prop bets in different players going over yardage or under yardage, or will the coin flip be a head or a tail, or will who's going to score the first touchdown? What color's the Gatorade? Anyway, a lot of weird bets in that deal. We won't go there. With that. But what is your thoughts as of right now? You don't have to lock in this deal. I know you have a bad feeling for the game. And let me say, if it was going to be a blowout, which team would be more likely to win? Again, it's a blowout. Which team would you expect to have won?
It's not going to be, first of all.
Okay. That wasn't, I was making a hypothetical question. Just saying.
I can't answer that.
Okay.
I cannot answer that because it could literally be either way. But
I don't see that unless there's
turnovers. Feel like the Seahawks have had more blowout-esque games this season. I feel like, because obviously I don't watch the Patriots that much, but I also feel like the Patriots are very capable of it. Because I've seen one, I think it was like 34-0. So if we're just going to go based off of what I've seen and what I think, then I'll say the Seahawks. If it's going to be a blowout, the Seahawks are going to win.
Okay. That was a hypothetical. So now if it's a close game, I tell you what, Mike Vrabel's done an excellent job with that team, and I really like him. I can't believe he was out of football for a couple years there when he wasn't. He was on a coaching staff, but so to get him to coach the Patriots, who is the team that he played for as well. That's pretty special. And so he knows all about the Super Bowl. There's no surprises with him either. So that's kind of nice on his side of it anyway. Um, and I think they're going to keep it close. I really do. I agree with you in that regard. Um, but if it comes a point, and everybody all year has been, oh, but it's Sam Darnold. He can't, he's not, it just isn't, he's quieted everybody down the last 2 weeks. And that's really good to see. That when they had that Rams game, I just remember the interview with Ernest Jones afterwards, just saying, "Hey, you guys played so well, and your quarterback had 4 interceptions, and what do you think of that?" And he was nothing but, "Hey, we love Sam. Sam is our quarterback. We are behind him. We have his back the whole way." And there were a couple other defenders that came in and said that, and that's huge when your team sticks up for you like that. And I think that's what Sam has found, is that he's got a team that he's with right now, and they are together. One thing that you hear out here all the time is the Patriots have won 9 road games this year. Okay. And that's fantastic.
Aren't we undefeated away or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah. But they're actually the home team for the Super Bowl. So, I mean, they can't use that. Seattle's lost 1 road game this year, and that was the Rams game. That's the only game they've lost in the last 2 years. They've only lost 1 road game. So you got to throw that out, because this is both teams on the road. So as they're coming out saying, "Oh yeah, we're road warriors," well, that one goes both ways. So the nice thing with all of that stuff is all the talk is put away, and then the ball goes in the air, and then the teams take care of the rest of it. So whatever happens, happens. I'm going to give the edge to the Seahawks a little bit. I think they're favored by 4.5, and that's I think they're going to end up covering that in the end. I really do. I think their defense will. You just never know with Mike Vrabel, though, because they've always, the Patriot way, as he has always been a part of, is they would not let somebody beat you. And for Seattle, I think that's going to be JSN. So to me, if you have him shut down, maybe they're double covering him, he's not even going to get much of a look. Cooper Kupp and Rashid Shaheed can take care of the business if they have to. And one of my favorites, AJ Barner, is always there. Hoping he can get a tush push into the end zone from the 1. That'd be fantastic. But I really like what they've done. And like you said right at the beginning of this, they've overachieved. They really have. I didn't expect this out of them. I really didn't. I was happy with their season last year when they won 10 games. They were 10-7 last year.
Would you say this is about the same level of overachieving as it was when Russ was traded the first time?
When he was traded?
So it was Geno being our guy the first year of him being the guy?
Oh, well, who knows? I don't know. I don't know if
because obviously in the beginning when Geno was supposed to be the guy, a lot of people were saying, "You're only winning like 2 games this year." We won 10.
I know there was a lot of that. Yeah, there was a lot of that
10
as well. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. No, without a doubt. You mean last year? Is that what you're talking about?
No, the first year.
The first year. Okay. Yeah.
With Geno.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and Geno didn't want to take what Seattle was giving him. I mean, they offered him a contract, but he wanted more. And so Darnold, they signed a 3-year deal with. So I'm sure they'll probably have to rework that this year. Let's hope with a Super Bowl victory. But
to
anyway,
answer your question,
yes,
about if it's going to be a close game, who takes it? I don't know why, but I still think it's the Patriots. I do not know why.
Yeah,
I do not know why. That. I just have a feeling it's going to be just like one mistake, 4 minutes left in the game, like a fumble or something. I just have that feeling.
Well, We'll see. That's
I
why
hope
they
I
play
don't
the
call
game.
it. Because I called. What did I call yesterday? Or no, yeah, yesterday. What did I call yesterday? Oh, Shadur Sanders throwing an interception in the Pro Bowl. That's what it was. That's what I
Well,
called that.
yeah, true story. That was all right though.
It's a Pro Bowl. So.
He had a good time. Seemed like there was a lot of people that had a good time for that deal. So, all right. So, well, we're going to look forward to this Sunday, 3:30 p.m. start. Pacific Daylight Time anyway. And again, from Levi Stadium in, what's the name? Santa Clara? Is that where they are? I think so.
I don't know.
Anyway.
I don't live there.
Yeah, that one's on NBC and Peacock, I think, too. So, but I'm hoping for a Seahawk victory. Seahawks 1-2 in the Super Bowls. Lost the first one to Pittsburgh, beat Denver, lost to the Patriots, and now
How many
we're playing the Patriots
Super
again.
Bowls have the Patriots been in? Not counting this one?
I think they were in 11, weren't they? 10 or 11? 10.
I mean, they won 6 of them?
Yep.
Okay.
Something like that. But
I was
all
gonna
that, nobody on the team, either team is still on the team from back when they played each other. So
Yeah.
McDonald was asked that today. Hey, is this a retribution for the last time that they played New England? He's like, no, this isn't. Nobody from the teams either on there, And he's been asked several times about what he's going to do if he gets the ball down to the 1 yard line with a couple minutes left. Are you going to pass or run the ball? And so
we'll do the play that wins.
Hopefully,
I think someone said that.
Hopefully they can just take care of business and go. So exciting times here in the Pacific Northwest with the Seahawks. Hopefully we can enjoy a big victory. It looks like I'm going to be off early enough from my job to be able to get home and be able to watch the whole Super Bowl. So I'll be happy with that. So, all right. It's been a great road getting to where they are. One more step to take, and hopefully they can pull it off. So good luck to both teams to stay healthy anyway, but rooting for Seattle just a little bit more than the Patriots. So
just a little bit?
Yeah, quite a bit more.
A lot of it.
Yeah, you're right. Well, from all of us here at Rain or Shine, from the state of Washington and the state of Oregon being represented, we've got just 2 words to say to end this broadcast.
Suck it. No.
Oh,
go Hawks! I thought of DX. I don't know why. I don't know why.
I got 2 words.
Yeah,
yeah.
I had to.
Well,
you'd never have said it that way.
So all year you have told me if I don't pick the Seahawks, I can't say go Hawks. So I didn't know.
I mean, I'm not picking the Patriots to win. Totally. I just have a feeling it could go really wrong.
Okay.
Anyway. Like I want the Seahawks to win, but there's that little feeling, that gut feeling of
it's probably just gas. It'll go away.
No, it's not.
It's probably just gas.
Not.
All right. Again, from all of us here, have yourself a great coming up on Thursday and Friday, and enjoy the game on Sunday. Now we can say go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Thank you, everyone.